minute late. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, your daughter's interviewing. Okay, let's pray for her. Yeah, I understand that when your kids need a win. I get that. Let's see who's here. Sally's here? What? You need my email? Okay, I will. I will take care of that. Can you hear me? So I was thinking it was going to be a beautiful, morning and catch that gorgeous morning light in the front yard. And it's just, we're all smoked in here. It's just absolutely um, totally socked in with smoke today, as it has been for quite a while. But today seems to be the heaviest smoke day. So even though the sun is apparently shining brightly somewhere, I can't see it. All right. And Julie Jordan Scott, welcome. I'm taking a break for a drink on my mini road trip and to calm down a bit. One of those days I'll watch your live while I'm sipping. Aw, thanks, Julie. I hope you can calm down and just breathe. Sorry if that was loud in the microphone. Um, yeah, so I was a little bit rushed. I always leave myself like just enough time to do things. It's a chronic, I don't know, let me know if that's how you are. And so I had forgotten, oh, I still need to heat up my coffee and grab my microphones, or just my microphone. Just one of me here. Um, Refreshment sometimes. I wonder why I type with my thumbs. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I find sometimes um, I've been trying to go on my computer when I'm joining live streams lately because it's so much easier to type something. And sometimes, like this morning, in the early morning when I'm in my kitchen, and you should see me. It would be funny if you could see me because I'm trying to make my husband his breakfast wrap. I'm running back and forth to the fridge. I'm in my pajamas. My hair is a mess. And I'm barely awake. And I've got Sally D on in the background, and I keep running to the phone to try and type things in, but um, I probably shouldn't say anything on those lives because, um, anyways, uh, you made it. Welcome, welcome, Miss M. Sorry, I'm not paying as close attention as I should here, and I'm going to, yeah, be thinking of your daughter. Hopefully, that's a good thing that happens for her today. Uh, can hear me? Thank you. Yeah. That's what happens when you plan a live. Yeah. Yeah, I know yeah, it's been really smoky here. I know it's hard to believe like we're in Canada and it's supposed to be Canada that's sending all the smoke, but in this part of Canada we usually get smoke coming up from California, Washington fires, and then sometimes if the wind changes direction, which it doesn't very often, and comes kind of from the north, we can get like the Northwest Territories fires. Um, yeah, it can kind of, but almost always the prevailing wind is from the southwest uh, through here. So, yeah, you have asthma. Yeah, it's really affecting a lot of people. I know my daughter was saying that, where she's in BC, the fires are the smoke is actually quite a bit heavier, and she's been really struggling. And it's also been so hot there. I think 38 Celsius, which is, what would that be Fahrenheit? Oh, I'm so I'm so bad at this. But thanks so much for being here. Sorry, it's like uh, I didn't hardly sleep last night, so if I seem a little um, off, I just have not been sleeping with the heat. So I'm just gonna bring you a little closer. And you know what that's like, right? When it's just so hot and you can't get any sleep. So my brain cells haven't had a chance to replenish themselves. Mike's here. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate everybody stopping in. Hey, Gabe, I'm from Alberta, Canada. Good morning. Hello, hello. That's great. Got your coffee and you're ready for the chat. I got my coffee too. I heated it up. Um, it's nice and black, and I have a couple things to show you here. I wanted to show you. I don't think Scott's here, but he'd been asking about my hat that's in my thumbnail, like my profile pic, and it's an old picture. I really need to update it. It's an old picture I took with this. I had this hat on for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was in the car, kind of waiting for kids or something, and I just kind of snapped a selfie, and I just kind of liked the way it looked as a composition. So I thought I'd show you that it's not actually an engineer hat. You're taking a much needed rest. Yeah, sometimes on road trips, I tend to push and push and push. Like, oh, I can go to the next town, I can get to the next town. And it's not good. It's not good. It makes you, anxious, makes your body hurt. So we've learned to stop and whatever, take our time a little bit more, go for a little walkabout, you know, go into a town and get a coffee and just stop this kind of like relentless, let's see how fast we can make it this time. That's kind of what we used to be like. And Mike, oh, hi, Otis is here. There you are, Otis. Hi, welcome. Kimberly's here too. Well, that's nice. So lovely of you folks to pop in on a Friday morning. It's Creative Friday. What am I going to create today? I'm kind of in this summer, things have just been so different, and my schedule's really different. But I still think every morning when it's Friday, I'm like, oh, it's my favorite day. I love Fridays. So today I'm just going to create this, yeah, create this live stream with y'all, and maybe I got a list of chores to do today, so that's why I'm like, ah. But great to see you. We'll get to. I had a topic actually that I wanted to talk about, and a couple of things I wanted to show you. Greetings from Belgium. Lovely to have you here. Belgium is such a cool country. 103 Fahrenheit. Okay, thank you. I didn't sleep last night either, so that's why you have a coffee. I know. I kind of I love coffee, but I do notice that yeah, maybe I need to stop taking it so black because it's hard on the stomach sometimes. But Dylan, my husband, he can just like he loves coffee. He can just drink coffee, and drink it, and it's all good. But I kind of have a limit of about a cup and a half, and then I'm done. Sorry, if I'm slurping. I know some people hate that. I hate that sound. So by some people, I mean me. Oh, Jeff's here. Welcome, Jeff. I'm so glad you made it. It's what time? It'd be afternoon in the UK. Hope you're feeling all right today. Nice to say hi to each other. You're sipping some coffee there too. Yeah, that's good. Sometimes it's just nice to have a coffee together with someone, and I love um, I love having coffee with all of you because it's yeah we're not really sitting down together in a cafe, but we can sometimes imagine it, right? If my daughter gets this job at Tim Hortons, I'll be drinking a lot more coffee. Oh, there you go. That would be nice. Hopefully, get some perks if she gets that job. I really hope she does. It's when you're trying to find a job, like my son's been trying to find a job, and yeah, it's been a real struggle here. So donuts, yeah, donuts would be a good perk to have. Glad you put the word coffee in there, Jen. Love button. Do thumbs down here, right? No, well, you can do whatever you want, do whatever you please, but um, thanks for mentioning that. How's the deer problem? Yeah, I know. I saw Daryl had a short that he had put up about with a deer that was in his neighbor's yard eating the hosta, like the, those, anyway, perennial nice looking plants. And I I saw it, I watched it, and I just started typing away. I had a comment, and then I realized that all the comments were like, "Oh, it's so sweet. Oh, what a beautiful sight." And so I was like, delete, delete, delete. I didn't leave a comment. I was like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? I had nothing nice to say. Oh, yeah. Nice to see you guys. Do Canadians like donuts as much as Americans? Um, we prefer eating donuts, actually, Jeff. Sorry. That was a bad joke. I think we probably do, but Tim Hortons donuts have gone, I have to say, they've kind of gone downhill um, over the years. But the best donuts are the ones that they make in the grocery store. They're in the bakery. Um, they're always like fresh and sometimes warm. I mean, honest to be totally honest, I haven't had a donut in a long time since I got diabetes. But anyway, yeah, they're the donuts. If you want to get it, have a good donut. That's why we spell it do donuts. Oh, we sure do, Jeff. Oh, I see. Hey, Matthew, welcome. Happy Friday. Tammy, you're too funny. I do a lot of backspacing when I'm on a rant, and everybody else's comments are lovely. Yeah, you're like, oh, I have something to say about this. And you're like, I don't know if anybody needs to hear that right now. So, like, put some positivity back out into the atmosphere. Jeff says, when I was in Michigan, I swear we had about 1,000 massive chocolate donuts for breakfast. Ooh, that sounds great. I love my food, but that was ridiculous. Yeah, my dad, he still goes into work at his company all the time, even though he's supposed to be retired. And every once in a while, he brings in a big, flat of donuts, and employees are just, especially the young ones, right? They're just like, oh, thank you. Someone say donuts. Admit we can't spell it here. Hello. Breakfast of champions. You know, um, not to brag, but I've been to Italy. Way back in 2010, I went to Italy as part of I was a teacher. I am a teacher, but I was a high school teacher, and I was coordinating this Europe trip for the school, and it was a lot of work. And I just had my gallbladder out like 4 weeks before or something. We left. But anyway, what was my point? Oh yes, breakfast. I could not believe. I just could not believe the wondrous breakfasts that they had at these different stops that we went on in Italy. Just this amazing coffees and croissants filled with chocolate and icing sugar and whipping cream and just any kind of all the pastries that you could imagine, and they were all bakery fresh. And I was just like, I could get used to this. And then there was always like some nice cheeses and different things like that, and I was like, wow. And I didn't know I had diabetes at that time. So I just, was freely partaking. um Gallbladder issues. Oh, I fought for years to not have to get my gallbladder out. And and plus I didn't know what was wrong with me for a long time. So yeah, I can relate to any gallbladder discussions. Majorly painful. And finally, after I'd gone into emergency so many times, one of the doctors finally clued in. Hey, oh, sorry, I grabbed my microphone. Hope that wasn't too loud. I think you need your gallbladder out. Mike Otis says we had a donut truck that used to come down the street like an ice cream truck. Only donuts. It was heaven. Oh my goodness, I've never heard of that. Wow. It's usually Americans who can't spell, but in this case, I'll admit it's us Brits. So, one of the things I wanted to show you was this. Look at this absolutely beautiful bookmark that I got from Kentucky Life with Debbie. If you don't follow her, she's great. I've been following her for probably a year and a half, and she's actually how I met a lot of you fine people, um, Rhonda and Evie, and it just kind of like. And then I think somehow through that I also saw Rob the Maritimer, and then I met Jeff, or I subscribed to Jeff through Rob the Maritimer's comment section. I don't know what it was. It was just something about Jeff's comment that I resonated with, and so I often, if I see a comment and I comment back on it or like it or something, I'll often go to their channel and just say, who is this person? And then I started watching Jeff's videos, and now we're friends. Isn't that awesome, Jeff? Ham, one less donut per minute and your diabetes will disappear. Yeah. Isn't that? Yeah, it's so sweet. And she sent me a cute little card with it, with a beautiful message. And I don't want to show you I won't show you the address, but I just thought it was so cool to have a postmark from, um, well, this says Knoxville, Tennessee. So she's in Kentucky, anyways. And I'm not the best at like sending things like that, but I I think of it, but I don't do it often. And it was just so sweet to receive that. And I have one friend, my friend Esther. I don't know if she watches my videos, but my friend Esther, we write back and forth real letters. And yesterday, I actually missed Julie Jordan Scott's live because I was in the middle of writing, finally sitting down after months of seeing this envelope sitting on my bedroom dresser. I was like, I just want to write her back today. I don't care what's going on. I'm just going to write her back. And because I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for just the perfect time to do something, and like an uninterrupted 2 hours that I could just sit down and gloriously write this letter. But I just sometimes you just got to do stuff and just do it anyway. So we wrote letters back and forth to each other years ago, and we actually wrote. I don't know if I should tell you this, but we wrote as fictional characters, kind of like we were, I don't know, pioneers in like the 1800s. And it was so fun because we would just make up all these imaginary stories, and so now we write as our real selves, but every once in a while we sign off as that fictional character that we used to be, that we used to do. Um, oh, Pam, you subscribed to me because you realized how amazing. Well, of course, Jeff, you're amazing, and that's why I subscribed. They've given my daughter a practice shift on Tuesday. Oh, already. Oh, that's great. Good news. Awesome. Jeff, she subscribed to you for all the local toilet talk. Yeah. I just wanted to see, some of those bathrooms in the UK, what they really looked like inside. It was like I just couldn't help myself. The curiosity got the better of me. Look at my really cute little, what are these called? Pop socket. The bird on it. Um, so I wanted to show you that bookmark, and then I wanted to show you, this doesn't look the same on me anymore as I've gotten older, and my hair is like a different color and not as thick. But this is the hat that I was wearing, or I am wearing, and I think it's like this half of my face, something like that. And it does kind of look like an engineer hat, I guess, doesn't it? But I wanted to show. Scott was like, "What is that you're wearing? Is that an engineer hat?" So I said, "Well, sometime on a live soon, I will." I don't know how to even wear this. I need to like find a jaunty way to wear it. Oh, sorry. This is the hat that I'm wearing. This is the house that Jack built. You know that poem? Jeff, Hello, Amber. I'm back. Oh, great. Amber, awesome to have you here. Sorry, I'm behind in the chat. I didn't think it was happening, and all of a sudden I realized, oh, there's chat. Yes, I think maybe you're right. That's cool. Theory Music Ugandan children. Hello, everyone from Africa. Hello. Thanks for being here again. You were on the last live stream. Miss Sam, I was going to go off subject, but not going to. Oh, toilet talk. Yeah, I don't know. It's always tempting to make jokes about that kind of stuff, though, isn't it? Oh my goodness, Kay and Ro is here. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, yeah, it's a very exciting to have someone here from Uganda because even though there's people from all over the world, it's usually, yeah, more rare to have someone from Uganda. So thank you for blessing us with your presence. We're happy to have you here. Pam, what's a video without at least 2 minutes discussing toilets? I know we need that needs to be like the minimum. Every video you need to discuss toilets for at least 2 minutes. I think I need to take this hat off. It's making me look too dark, like it's like shading me. But anyway, I don't even know why I bought this hat. I went through like a time maybe 15 years ago that I was just like really into hats. I had this one. I had a kind of cream colored, um, oh, what do you call that? Cable knit looking hat. I had long time ago. I had a kind of captain's hat that I got in Nova Scotia when we were visiting, um, and I love that one too. So, and I also went through a phase a few years ago when I always wore caps, um, and I don't know. There was this guy in our church, this older man, who because he knew me from a long time ago. Um, I think he thought he could just say whatever he wanted. He was always making comments about things I was wearing anyway. And so I think it was during COVID, and I was doing a Bible study. Dylan and I were leading a group study thing online. And I was wearing a cap because I was just like, it was after work. It was a busy day, and I just kind of threw on a hat so I could be a little more presentable in my mind. And he just could not get over it that I was like looking so masculine with this hat on. And thinking back now, I wish I would have just put him in his place and said, "It's none of your business what I'm wearing." But I was always so nice. I'm just a nice girl, and I just suck it up and I say, "Oh, okay, I'll take my hat off for you so you can feel better about life." I don't know. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. Oh dear. Cool hat. Looks good. Nice hat. All right. All right. Oh my goodness. I'm just way behind. Thanks for saying you love the hat. Welcome back, Amber. Yes, I'm working around the yard. That's such a great thing to do when you're listening to a live. I was doing that last night. I was out pruning. I was deadheading the roses and trying to do some weeding, and I got eaten alive by mosquitoes. So, but yeah, it's so hot. It's been so hot during the day. It's like either early morning, excuse me, sorry, or late night is the best time for all that. Is Philip here? Hi, Philip. Welcome. Oh, I'm glad I boost your mood. Nice to meet you. Yes. Uh, Good to say hi to each other. That's awesome. Yeah, Jeff is in the UK. Um, and Amber, where are you at? I think you might have told me and I forget. I wish my YouTube lives were as fun. I don't know. I don't know if they're fun or if I'm just like, just losing my mind. So it's entertaining. Sorry. Um, my friend Dora on here, she dances in the bathroom. Love it. Yes, I've seen Dora the Explorer in Australia. She is so much fun. Isn't she just like, I love people that are just unapologetically themselves. I always have a hard time with that. I always feel like I'm editing, apologizing, trying to present. myself in the best light. And I just love how Dora just goes for it and exercises on screen, and dances, and she's so much fun, and has such a great personality. Hats, yeah, great, Kimberly. Aw, thanks, you guys. Learning to stick up for yourself because you had a friend in your personal life who kept walking all over me. Yeah, I understand that, Miss Sam. It's kind of the story of my life. Um, you kind of hit a wall where you're like, why am I allowing this? And I'm glad that you're sticking up for yourself. That's really good. Sorry, my tripod. Oh, I see. The tripod is a little bit of an angle, and it's because I just realized it was like on something. Um, that's okay. As long as you can see me all right. It's not like too wonky. You're in Arizona. Okay, yes, I remember that now. Otis says, "M, that's good. It's so easy to let people walk over us, isn't it? Isn't it?" And it's kind of like I reached different points in my life where I realized it. I realized it, when I was younger, and I just didn't know what to do about it. I realized it at different times in high school, in my 20s, throughout my life. I kind of realized it was happening, but it was always like so much more difficult and or more painful somehow to speak up and then deal with the fallout of that than it was to just continue to bear up under what was happening. But I did learn to sometimes that you can just exit. You can exit a friendship. Sometimes you just have to um, realize that that person or those people aren't really your friends. What do we like better? Pam's morning hair or Pam's morning hat? Nice to say hi to each other. Um, you like the hat, Mike? Yes, you guys are both in Arizona. You having a cool day today? I bet it's still really hot. Jeff says, "Hi, Dad. How did you get in front of Pam's camera?" Oh, wait, it's Pam wearing. Oh, it's funny. Arizona is so nice and cool, not very hot at all. Yeah, I have actually. Well, I don't have friends. My husband Dylan's cousin. Um, she lives in Arizona, and he's been there before. So I've heard stories. Grace, I met you in Sally's live. Oh, yeah, welcome, Grace. Yes, I've seen you there before too. It's only 106. Okay, so like 40, about 40 um, Celsius. Yeah, that's really hot. Sorry, my tenant is. I think she's leaving for work or something. So if you heard a vehicle start up, that's what's going on. I'm not sure what you can hear. Welcome in, Grace. I knew people were walking over me because I noticed the footprints. I'd welcome any hair at this point. Yeah, Jeff, you are too funny. You're hilarious. Okay, and Rose saying hi to Mike. That's uh, yeah. So um, sometimes I have topics, but it's usually just more fun to hang out, isn't it, in these lives and just talk to each other about anything that's going on. So I want to invite you to say whatever is on your mind, talk about whatever topic you want to talk about with each other or with me. I'm running an electric trimmer, checking back in the live between bushes. Yeah, it's hard to stay on the live when you're doing that. Yeah, good for you. I'm sure it looks beautiful there. I saw on your channel some of your garden, and you're doing an amazing job. You have a pool there, like a pond. I saw a frog, I think. It's in Fahrenheit. Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to learn to think in Fahrenheit because I'm always trying to, go back and forth between the two. But it's like when something's, you've grown up and Celsius, and it's not like a straight across conversion, if that makes sense. It's not like um, inches and centimeters is something that's always the same. It's kind of, yeah, hard to explain, but I'm not explaining it well. I guess I'm not a very good teacher. But it's not like, Fahrenheit is always this much more than Celsius. It changes across the temperature. And sometimes it's very close to the same, and sometimes it's really far apart. So, but if you just think about, yeah, like 0 Celsius freezing point, and I think 32 is the freezing point in Fahrenheit. Bye, Jen. Yeah, okay. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. I'm so glad for your daughter. I go to Cedar Point. I am in Ohio. Okay, Cedar Point. What's Cedar Point? Is that a college? What is that? Um, I can look it up. Have a great day, Jen. I have a new keyboard and the keys are different, and it's causing me to keep on pressing keys that close this chat. It's driving me crazy. Oh, I know. Isn't it hard to get used to something new like that, like a new computer or a new keyboard? Or um, I know sometimes my son, when he goes from his PC to type something on my laptop, he's always like, what is this? This he's always hitting buttons he doesn't mean to hit. You have to go to Amber. Okay, well, thanks for stopping in. I guess it has been half an hour, so um, is that's what you're supposed to keep them to? But I'll probably go longer, and as long as you're interested. You got your mood boosted. Oh, that's good. Good. Have a wonderful day. Cedar Point's an amusement park. Oh, okay, an amusement park in Ohio. Fun. I thought for some reason I had a college in my head that started with Cedar something. So that's great. That sounds like so much fun. Amusement parks are amazing. We went to one in, where was it? It was like what's it called? Something with flags. Is it 3 flags, 4 flags, 5 flags? Some kind of flags. When we went to Oregon as a family, this was back in, I think, 2017, 2016. Yeah, 2016, because I remember it was an election year. And it was like there was a lot of election stuff around. But we went to, yeah, where was it? On the way there, it was in Idaho, and yeah, we had the best. We had the best time. It was such a beautiful day, such a fun time, and I was like, oh, you guys have it. So many good things. Kimberly says, Sposewife, I'm learning that I don't have to have meat with every meal. Hard times have taught me that rice and beans with just some smoked pork for flavor can be a whole entire meal. That's great. Yeah, it's very thrifty of you. I find that when my kids when we have no kids at home, different times, when there's been no kids here, and it's just Dylan and I, that we eat a lot more frugally. But I try to make, the best meals I can when my kids are around. May have to go and take some Advil. You're in pain today. Oh yeah, well, make sure you take care of yourself, Miss M. Six Flags. Six Flags. There we go. I knew there were some flags involved. Six Flags. You were close. Let's keep going. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Sorry. Forgive my ignorance of what are probably very common Americanisms that I don't not as familiar with. Kimberly, it is definitely hard to stick to a diet and you don't have the money. When you don't have the money, yeah, it's that's the thing, right? To buy all these expensive things or be on this special diet, and it's like, yeah, well, who's gonna pay for that, right? It does cost a lot more to buy some of those good things. But yeah, there are ways, like you're saying, Kimberly, there's ways to choose things and put things together and just be creative, right, with it. How is Dylan doing? Well, He right now he was training a guy. Um, he was training a guy for most of this week, and um, that's always exhausting. Like training somebody on the grader, he finds it really tiring because you're like all day. You're giving instruction and you're watching and you're talking to people, and then now he's yeah, he's grading for someone who is a really heavy smoker. And so he comes home, and because this guy smokes in his cab like all day long, um, for like years, right? And so Dylan comes home and he just reeks like he's been sitting in a diner in the 1970s. And so he washes his clothes at night. But anyway, he's happy to be doing a less stressful job. For him, he just loves to be out in the wilderness by himself on a piece of equipment, everybody leaving him alone. To him, that's the perfect day. So thanks for asking, though. Oh, I'm sorry I'm missing. Okay. Yeah. Hubby starts a new job Monday. Okay, that's good, Kimberly. Yeah. Jeff says I need to go. I'm afraid I'm not doing very well at all. I loved being here as always, though. I'm sorry, Jeff. Thinking of you. I'm sorry I missed your comment. I hope you're still here. Thank you for being here, and we are praying for you, and we care about you. And I just hope that you start feeling better. Are there two seats in a grader? No, there's not. Just one. Um, yeah. Bye, Jeff. Take care. Thank you, guys. Kimberly says, yes, tomorrow I'm making cabbage with onion, tomatoes, and a bit of ground beef, all stewed down. Oh, yeah, that sounds really good. I find, onions just give things so much flavor, right? And they're not very expensive, and you can grow them yourself. I have a whole bunch of onions in the backyard, and um, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Miss M. And the aging retiree, that's Mike. And sometimes we call him Otis because there's other Mikes. There's handsome Mike, who's in this chat too. Mike's Adventure Sparks. Kevin says, I remember those days when you'd come home from a club or someplace and just reek of smoke to you. Yeah, I remember, do you remember being a kid and just like everybody had an ashtray just all around their house? People would smoke in bed. Um, Neither of my parents smoked, um, but yeah, my grandma, like a lot of people I knew, my grandpa rolled his own cigarettes, and I used to help him. He had the player's tin, and then he had the rolling papers, and he would let me, stack the tobacco and roll it up. And maybe I need to blame him for my. I've had a couple times in my life where I smoked, um, and yeah, I kind of have an addictive personality, so I'll blame my grandpa. But yeah, those are the days, and even saw on TV um, when they were the newscasters, right? The newscasters would be having a cigarette while they're explaining the news. It was just such a common thing, and uh, it's just interesting, right? How history changes and times change, and um, yeah, take care of yourself, Jeff. I've been thinking about you. Grace says to the aging retiree, have you ever been on Top Thrill 2 or Siren Curse or Valraven at Cedar Point? Ooh, those sound like crazy rides. Thank you. I really do need that, Pam. Bye bye. Yeah. Goodbye, Jeff. Um, Grace says Top Thrill 2 has a 5-hour wait. Oh, that must be a popular ride then. You've never been there? Okay. Miss M says, I love cabbage and the sweet onions with red pepper flakes. That's really good. Yeah. You ever had like those little cabbage rolls? You can buy them here. Somebody makes them, and you can buy them at the farmer's market. And I've never actually made them myself, but little cabbage rolls rolled up. And there's sweet ones and there's sour ones, and they're they're really good. Yeah, red pepper flakes do make everything better. But I have a story about that. I think I was about 9 years old, and we almost never went to restaurants. Maybe I was like 10 or 11, but I had hardly ever been to restaurants. Being the oldest of six kids, living out in the country, and we almost never went out. So we were at, where were we? I think it was Boston Pizza, like when Boston Pizza first started in Canada, or I don't know, something like that. But we had pizza. And I thought the red pepper flakes in that shaker thing, they had the Parmesan cheese and the red pepper flakes. I thought it was just some kind of flavoring, right? Like, oh, that looks good. And I shook a whole bunch of red pepper flakes on my pizza. And I was eating away, and you know how it creeps up on you, and then, oh my gosh, I was in so much pain. I ran to the bathroom, and I'm like just trying to get water in my mouth. I'm trying to everything I can. So I learned a lesson, because red pepper flakes are really good when used in moderation, right? Ecclesiastes says everything in moderation. Grace, I'm in Arizona. Kings Island, is that another place? Otis, are you near Flagstaff, Arizona? I'm going to Flagstaff. Um, okay, so probably won't go too much longer here, but there's still 9 of you here, and the topic that I wanted to talk about, but I kind of just forgot about, was um, making decisions. And I've been thinking a lot lately, and it's kind of maybe a bit too serious of a topic for a fun live stream, but how do you make decisions? And have you ever regretted making a decision? Like, have you ever had to go back on a decision where you were like, you know what, that was the wrong decision? Um, or, yeah, I've just been thinking about that lately, because it's so hard to make decisions in life, right? Like, both of my grown kids are trying to make decisions in their lives, and I'm trying to give them advice. And I think about Dylan and I in the course of our life, and the different places we've moved, and how it seemed like a really good decision, the best possible decision at the time. And then sometimes looking back, like, I wonder if we kind of got off track here or there, right? And it's easy to have regrets, but I'm learning that you can't live like that. You kind of have to live with what you did decide to do and make the best of it. And it's probably on my mind because, sorry, somebody's horn is honking repeatedly behind me. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but hopefully you can't hear it. I love spicy foods, um, but I can't have at the moment. I miss your spicy foods. Oh, Pam, you're always on point with my life. Oh, Mike says, I'm trying to make decision where to work. One job is 3 hours from the house. The other two are out of state, trying to make the right decision and praying. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Miss M says, I do have regrets. I have regrets about my decisions I've made. Two of them are embarrassing. Yeah, and sometimes those things are, and it's like, oh, you kind of have some shame and some regret, and it's hard to pull yourself out of that, and just go forward, right? Because we are human, and we all do things we regret. We all have things we're ashamed of, and it's sometimes easy to kind of wallow in that, right? Because it just comes to your mind, maybe when you're trying to get to sleep at night, and you remember, oh, that thing you did years ago. Like, oh, what was I thinking? I know I have a lot of stories about that. So just hang in there. Mike says, I'm trying to see what God has for me, but I don't have a clear path. Yes, that is really tough when you don't have a clear path yet. And all you can really do is, like, you pray about it, you think about it, you maybe do some research, right? You look into it. You can ask people. That's one thing that I often advise. Um, Ask others in your life, ask people that you trust, if you can, for their advice. And sometimes if people want you to do something, though, they'll give you kind of skewed advice, right? And I've definitely gotten a lot of that. It's like, well, my parents, like, they're wonderful people, but obviously they wanted us to move back here to this town, and we wanted to move, would be close to them as well. However, there were a lot of things that we were not told, and or things were way different than we thought they were in a lot of different areas, right? Family wise, work wise, and so you kind of have to get a well-rounded view or a perspective from multiple people that you care about and you trust, and get try to get some objectivity about it, right? That can help a little bit, but ultimately it just comes down to, your gut feeling of like, okay, um, I'm going to do this. Regrets can eat us alive if we let them. I have many. Yeah, I hear you. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. Otis. Grace says, Otis, I'm going to Flagstaff. My dad and me are flying from Ohio to Las Vegas. Then we're driving to Flagstaff and exploring Flagstaff. It's on my bucket list to visit. Oh, that's so exciting. Have fun. Kimberly says, decisions. I Google the scriptures for reference and also pray for God to give me a sign and pray that God's perfect will be done in Jesus' name. Yeah. You know, there were times in my life when I was younger that we kind of wanted to do something. Dylan was going to go to Bible college and take outdoor leadership program years and years ago. And I had been asking God for a sign. And I don't know how wise that was, to be honest. But I was kind of, I don't know if I was asking him or I was looking for one anyway. And I remember I was sitting at my computer and I was reading some readings, like some spiritual insights from, I forget who it was, but anyway, I was reading about an open door. And I was like, oh, an open door. And at that exact moment, my front door blew open. And it was downstairs, like our front door was, what are those called, those basement entry homes? And I was like, oh my goodness, that's a sign. And that was actually the wrong decision for us, and we didn't end up doing it. And so I'm not trying to, like, put a thumbs down or negate or criticize what you're saying. I'm just saying that sometimes when we want a sign and we're looking for one, and then something happens, we can take that as way more of a marker of where we're supposed to go than it actually should be, because um, I don't believe that that was a sign. What I really, like, I did at the time, but now what we really needed to do, and what we did end up doing, is we asked people in our lives that cared about us, that were more objective, and we didn't get a go ahead like that this was a good idea from anyone. And it caused us to back up and think, okay, are we still supposed to go ahead with this? Is God still calling us to do this? We would have had to sell our house, put all our money into this program, um, and there was a lot of things that we didn't know yet. And it seemed like a good idea because he'd been laid off from work. It was the sawmill industry, the softwood lumber industry, when way back in early 2000s, when America put, sorry America with the tariffs, but it put like some massive tariffs on softwood lumber, and so the softwood lumber industry in Canada was tanking and everyone was getting laid off. So it was like, what I realize now, sorry I'm babbling, was that we really needed a new direction. We really needed an out from the painful place that we were in, where money was scarce, where we didn't know, you know, uh, when what the next paycheck would be like. We had little tiny kids, and so this idea of going into this program kind of seemed like an answer to this will solve all the problems, right? So I think that's where it's important to be like, is this the right decision, um, or is this just a decision that is going to solve all my problems temporarily? And it doesn't mean that God, doesn't call people to do things like that all the time. In fact, Dylan did go to Bible college years and years later. And anyway, in a totally different program. And that's a story for another day. Um, so it wasn't that he didn't have a call to do something like that. But I don't know. I better catch up on the chat. It's hard watching your adult children make bad decisions, but you can't live their lives for them. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's that's a podcast right there, right? Grace says, Otis, I'm going to Arizona for 2 weeks. Mike says, yes, Mike, I'm also going through that. Grace, you'll love it. I hope you have a great trip. Yeah. Have you been in Arizona before, Grace? Grace says, Otis, no, I have never been to Arizona, but I have always wanted to go to Arizona. So my dad and I are going next month in August. Oh, wow. Like Gideon did, signs need confirmation. That's right. That's right. So you could, maybe that sign of the door opening, maybe it depends how you interpret things. But I tend to try and keep everything very grounded in logic and reality. Um, and if that was a sign from God and then it wasn't confirmed by anything else, then I think you can say, well, was that a sign or was it a coincidence? Was it just my wishful thinking? I wanted it to happen. And so I was looking for things that pointed me in that direction because we always end up at the destination of where we're looking, right? So if we're looking at something, if you're going for a walk and you see a tree on top of a hill and you just focus on that tree and you're going to end up at that tree. We go to where we're looking, right? When I was teaching people how to drive, I would say watch where you're looking because that's where you're going to drive towards. And if you feel nervous when you're driving, just look at a point on the road ahead of you and just go towards that, and that will keep you nice and straight, right? When I was teaching young drivers. And so yeah, what we're looking at, what we're focusing on is where we'll end up. And that's more what I believe in, uh, instead of that, law of attraction and intentions and all those kind of things. I personally kind of steer away from that sort of way of talking about it. And I think it's just more like logically you'll arrive at where you're looking. I hope that makes some sense. Sam, God has been giving me the word faith a lot, starting at the end of last year and all of this year. I have to have faith as a mustard seed. So I have a necklace that has a mustard seed in it. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. That's such a good reminder. I love that. Otis and Grace are talking about Arizona, and exploring relationship with God is so personal. It is, right? And so you can give people advice. You can talk about your relationship with God. But yeah, we can't. We shouldn't try and step on toes and tell other people what they should be doing or how they should be thinking and believing. Um, Miss M says, "Hey guys, please pray and send positive vibes our way. On Monday, my dad will get a call and see if he gets the go ahead." Okay, yeah, I know you've been kind of alluding to something going on in your family. So um, there's lots to see in Arizona. Yeah, Arizona looks like a big and beautiful and very diverse province, state. uh, Smart cookie. Oh, now I want cookies, Kimberly. It's like whenever Dana's in the chat and I'm just like, oh, those cookies she makes look so good. I just want a cookie. Otis, we plan to visit Flagstaff. That's the main goal to see. Is Flagstaff, is that the capital? No. I know it's a major city. I should know this. I'm sorry. I should know this. God sends us little gems throughout the day to encourage us, especially in hard times. That's so true. He does. He sends us little reminders. you know, little things like that encouraging card that I got from Kentucky Life with Debbie. I wish she was here. And this little bookmark that she made with the tiny bird on. I'm going to keep this. Um, yeah, and in my Bible, and just her faith and her encouragement is, um, it really means a lot, right? Praying, grace. Okay, so yeah, we're almost up the top of the hour here, and yeah, I had a couple other things, but I just wanted to touch on that today. This idea of regrets, this idea of decisions. There's a quote that's attributed to C.S. Lewis. I think he said it. You never quite know, right? But um, something to the effect of, when you're going the wrong way, the person who turns around first is the most progressive. So sometimes, like, everybody's going one direction, or you're going this direction, and you have this feeling like it's not quite right, and you just think, well, I'm committed to it. I gotta follow this through. And that's kind of how I've always been thinking. I just have to be consistent. I just have to keep going in this direction, and eventually I'll get there. But if you're on the wrong road, then the best thing to do is to turn around, right? And get off of that road and get back on the right path. And that's the tricky thing. And Mike was talking about his decisions he's trying to make. It's really hard to know sometimes. Am I on the right road? Is it best to just stay the course, or is this opportunity better in the long run? And and we don't always know the outcome. It's like when we moved back here to our hometown, to my hometown. Um, it looks like the best decision at the time, and I'm not saying it was the wrong decision, but it's been really hard to reconcile some of the things, um, and some of the disappointments, and uh, just things that we're dealing with. And so it makes you kind of second guess. And so I think when you make choices and you make decisions, to just kind of realize that even if I make this decision and good things happen, there's still going to be hard things on that path too. That path is still going to have uphills. That path is still going to have rocks and roots, and maybe, a bear running across the path. Right? There's going to be scary things. But if you can kind of like zoom out and look at, the course of your life and where you want to be, then it can be worth it to take a risk and step out in faith and do something different, and can sometimes bring a lot of life and hope, into your world. So I'll be praying for Mike's adventure sparks, that he has clarity, and he can start to really see, right, that the next step, that he has enough light to see the next step that he should be taking. uh, Cookies. Sorry. Aging retiree Otis says, there were so many dark times when I was being treated for cancer, but each week had a sprinkling of small blessings that made all the difference. Yeah, and that's such a hard journey, and I haven't had to face that, um, at this point, but I have several friends, and one friend in particular that's really going through it. Jeff Straight Talking is right in the middle of a very dark time fighting cancer. And yeah, so grateful to God for when we're in those really dark times, some little thing that he sends our way that we remember. I remember when I was really, really, really sick with both of my pregnancies, and I just remember kind of being in despair and so hungry but so sick, worried about my little baby growing inside me, that, if it was okay, because I was so thin and I was so sick, and I couldn't look after my daughter, because I just couldn't even walk around the house. And so I had people helping me. And I just remember, yeah, God blessing me with, um, just some amazing things that he sent my way, that kind of showed me that little sparkle of light to keep me going till the next day and the next day, and then eventually got through those heavy times. And that's not as dark as cancer, I know, but just reminded me of that. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Amen. Those are really good verses from Proverbs. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Yes, at least that's one thing we know, right? To turn away from evil. We know that that's the right thing to do, that that will set us on the right path. Um, I just want to do God's will, not mine, Mike says. Yeah, and how do we know what God's will is, right? He doesn't always tell us exactly what to do, but I think if you keep seeking Him, I think He will show you in due time. Um, and in the meantime, you just keep taking the next step in getting counsel and making the best decision that you can for you and your family. No, thanks is God's timing. Whatever job I do take, I will have to live in my camper. Okay, either way, I don't have the funds to get a hotel, so I'll be interesting the first few weeks, but I can make it. Yeah, well, make sure you set yourself up for success, right? And um, I know you do live in your camper a lot, but yeah, that could be interesting. Love you all. Bye, Kimberly. Have a great day. Get going. Yeah, we all need to get going, right? God is good. Yeah, we've been here a full hour now. So thank you, friends, for hanging out. I appreciate you so much for having this chat with me, catching up, and on these kind of deep topics. And I pray that, yeah, whatever decisions you have to make today or whatever regrets you might have, that today you can just feel lifted up out of them and just fix your eyes on Jesus, like Peter, right? Trying to get out of the boat and walk on the water. When he looked at the waves, he started to sink. But when he focused on Jesus, he walked on water. Okay. Have a great day, you guys. Love you. Talk to you again really soon.